中萬歲，我係亞洲和平協會嘅高橋同事。今次咧嗰個Everyone 嘅其同埋咧嗰個好多冇戶嘅亞洲嘅佢哋嘅朋友咧，被拒絕佢哋嘅簽證嘅問題咧，非常嚴重嘅問題咧，因為如果佢哋
We are workers, we are not slaves!
And the social exclusion to foreign domestic workers.
And the social exclusion of foreign domestic workers!
We are here today because we are alarmed with the recent attack of the Immigration Department on migrants' rights and livelihood. We condemn their recent action denying the working visa of 170 foreign domestic workers because the Immigration Department accuses them of job hopping. They prosecute them even if they don't make a crime and do not violate any laws in Hong Kong. With this new measure of Immigration Department, it makes us more vulnerable to abuses because it will prevent us from complaining, because if we do so, we may not be given a visa. We are here because we want to say to the Immigration Department, to the Secretary of Security Bureau, and to other government bodies to stop treating us like slaves. Slavery exists in Hong Kong because of the policies of social exclusion. The Immigration Department and the Secretary for Security, Mr. Lai Tok-Wok, do not understand the difficult situation of foreign domestic workers in Hong Kong. It is highly impossible that foreign domestic workers are doing job hopping. The Secretary of Security Bureau said that foreign domestic workers terminate the contract deliberately because they are after the money paid by the employers equivalent to 1 month's salary and a ticket going back home. The small amount that we may receive from the employers are not even enough to pay our debts when we leave our countries just to work in Hong Kong. The burden of proof is always in the workers to prove that the employers terminate them before they can avail of the monetary claims. How can we think of job hopping when we know that it will not benefit us? How can we think of job hopping when we know that once we change employer or terminate the contract, we can only stay in Hong Kong for 2 weeks because of the 2-week rule policy? How can we think of job hopping when we know that even we find an employer, we have to leave Hong Kong and wait for our visa outside Hong Kong? How can we think of job hopping when we know that we have to pay again 15,000 Hong Kong dollars to 30,000 Hong Kong dollars to the recruitment agencies because there is a ban on direct hiring imposed by our own governments? How can we think of job hopping when we know that aside from the agency fee that we have to pay, we are already burdened with debts from the previous employment we have? Job hopping is the last thing that any migrant domestic workers can think of. In fact, we opt not to complain because we are afraid of losing our job. Assuming that there are workers who are changing employers for better working conditions, for fair treatment and recognition. Is it a crime? Why others can change employment but foreign domestic workers cannot? It is clear that from Immigration and Security Bureau's department point of view, foreign domestic workers have no rights and are not part of this society. The Hong Kong government and its agencies do not recognize the contribution of foreign domestic workers to this society. With what is happening right now, it is clear that the Immigration Department, the Security Bureau, and other political parties like the Liberal Party, the New People's Party, are collaborating to deny our rights and maintain the slave-like conditions of foreign domestic workers in Hong Kong, like what had happened to Eriana and Kartika. They are scaring the local community so that their support to us, their support to the foreign domestic workers will be lessened, if not withdrawn. Today, as we are having our protest action, we would like to reiterate our call. We call on to the Hong Kong government, to the Immigration Department, to the Security Bureau to abolish their policies that will affect the right, livelihoods, and living of foreign domestic workers in Hong Kong. We call them to stop giving malicious information and misleading the people of Hong Kong. We call them to end the social exclusion. No to modern day slavery!
No to modern day slavery!
We are workers, we are not slaves!
We are workers, we are not slaves!
Stop the lies now!
Stop the lies now!
Reform the policies!
Reform the policies!
Abolish two-week rule!
Abolish two-week rule!
Make leave out an option!
Make leave out an option!
Friends, we will continue to assert the rights of foreign domestic workers. We will continue to uphold the rights of migrant workers in Hong Kong who are for the longest time being victimized by these anti-migrant and discriminatory policies of the Immigration Department.